This is the 2-Minute Timeout with Joe Shuda on WRTA.
Rocky Bleier discusses Terry Bradshaw's play calling.
There's a lot of stories. Some I cannot tell, obviously, and some that I can. The interesting story, it's always picking on somebody else, and we all like to pick on Mr. Bradshaw only because of his exposure from those years, being on Fox, and just a funny guy. I have to tell you this. I mean, Terry is a wonderful teammate, but he's just a funny guy. One of a few people that just makes me laugh just by being around him. But anyway, he has this great, and he'll talk about it at times, about him calling his own plays and how important it was for him to call his own plays in the huddle. Unlike today, we only had 4 plays to choose from, but he called his own plays, but that's all right. The interesting input is that he would come up to the line of scrimmage, and he may audible a play, meaning change it at the line of scrimmage, call a play in the huddle, and he'd come up, look at it, or see a different defense than what he wanted before, and then he would audible and change the play. And at times, Mike Webster, who is our center, he'd be over the ball. Bradshaw would be underneath him, looking at the defense, making a change in his call, and Webby would look back up at him and shake his head no. Bradshaw would audible to another play. Webby would look up at him and shake his head no. Then he would call another play, and then he'd shake his head yes. So it was a funny situation only because of the fact that Terry talks about him calling his own plays and so on, but yet Webby always had an impact on what he'd call or what took place. And so we'd all laugh about it.
That's your 2-Minute Timeout. I'm Joe Shuda.